Welcome friends and spiritual travelers, this is Mystic Al. We have a pick a card reading for you today. Today's theme is what's unfolding in your life. So what's happening in your life right now that you may not be aware of? We have 4 piles for you to choose from today. We have pile 1 with the lovely malachite stone. Pile 2 is the tiger's eye. Pile 3 is the angelite. And pile 4 is the rose quartz crystal. So please use your intuition to choose a pile or to choose a crystal. Remember, this is a general reading, so take only that which resonates with you and leave the rest behind. I just want to reiterate too that these readings are for entertainment, so try not to take them too seriously. If something does resonate with you, that's amazing. If not, then just have a laugh. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's get started with pile number 1. Hello, pile 1 with a lovely malachite stone. Let's find out what's currently unfolding in your life, whether that be something that you are aware of or something that maybe you're not so aware of. We'll start with your oracle cards. Your first card is cause and effect. You are aware that the love you create in your thoughts is an agent of change and the foundation of your results. You have the ask for help from others card. And you have the compromise card. Interesting. We'll start with those 3 cards there for you, pile 1. Okay, what I am seeing for you, pile 1, is I sense you're starting to learn, I guess, about yourself a little bit more on the way that you react to certain situations, but also, I guess, the way that things have unfolded in your life leading up to now. I mean, everything that happens in our life sort of like molds the person that we are in our present moment, in a sense. So I guess like positive and negative experiences sort of like dictate the way that we react to things, the way that we perceive things. It affects our value system and really like molds the person that we become, in a sense. So I just sense that maybe there's been some things recently in your past that have made you start to reflect upon like the way that you react to certain things, or even to start to reflect upon your values. And I really see that you're starting to change your values in a sense. I think you're becoming a lot more mindful of the impacts or the implications of the things that you think and the things that you say, also associated with the things that you do in your actions, how, you know, the things that we do can influence other people, and all actions, all thoughts even, like our thoughts, everything is energy. Our thoughts are energy, our actions are energy. The things we say is energy leaving our throat and being projected out as noise, right? It's all just energy. And I really think you're starting to realize that there's consequences for the things that you do, the things that you say, the things that you feel. And I don't mean consequences necessarily just in a negative sense. I think it's just about karma, actually. Like what you put out is what you get back, in a sense. Cause and effect is all about like equal and opposite reaction. What goes around comes around. So you're starting to realize that there actually are like deliberate impacts associated with the things that you do, with the things that you say. And I really think that you're starting to become a lot more mindful about like projecting positivity outwards, is what I'm getting. With the compromise card here, I just see that as being in terms of you started to compromise the thought processes and the things that you say, in a sense that you've actually done a bit of work on yourself recently, pile 1, to try and be a better version of yourself, to make sure that what you're putting out is more uplifting, is more positive, doesn't necessarily have a detrimental impact on other people, or is not so hurtful, in a sense. Maybe you've learned through experiences recently that the things you say actually have an impact on other people, and actually then come back around and cause you pain. For example, if let's say you're at work and you have a fight with a colleague and you say something abusive to them and you call them a name, you're causing that person a lot of pain and upset. You've hurt that person, so their day is really impacted by it. You've managed to affect their day. But also that comes back around because that person might talk to somebody else about what's going on. Then you become, I guess, the gossip, or like there's a rumor sent around about you being quite nasty and sharp-tongued and stuff, and so people, I guess, become more mindful of how they interact with you, and then before you know it, if you continue to do those things, no one wants to talk to you in the office. So you're, I guess, like what I'm trying to say is that there's cause and effect. You're starting to realize that the things that you do actually have impacts to yourself and not just to other people. So I really just see here that you've become a lot more mindful with the compromise and the cause and effect card of trying to be like the best possible version of yourself, projecting positivity, saying nice things, thinking nice thoughts, trying not to dwell on negative thoughts and letting them go in a sense, which I really commend you on, Pile 1. And I also see here with the ask for help from others, what I am getting though is that maybe you have, that other people have probably been like pointing out to you, I guess, in a sense, sort of mentoring you recently about maybe things that you need to change, letting you know about certain behavioral patterns or personality traits that you may have that aren't the most sort of amicable, let's say. So you may have been deliberately seeking out guidance from other people, or just even like relying on friends and family to have, I guess, some deep, intimate conversations about, what it is that you need to change. And I really just sense that you've started to take it on board too, that this advice hasn't fallen on deaf ears. You've really been quite open to embracing change recently, and I just think that's really magical. So good on you, Pile 1. That's what I'm getting from the cards. Moving on. Ooh, you have the big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Okay. And you have the surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Okay. That's really beautiful. You know what I've just seen here? This is a bit of a sidebar. But with the compromise card, Pile 1, and the scales here, which reminds me of the sun sign or the zodiac sign of Libra, of peace and harmony, of love, of seeing the beauty in other people. Libra is ruled by Venus, Venus energy, surrender to the sweetness. I really just sense with these cards that you're starting to really embrace being a kind of person and actually projecting positivity to other people. That's coming back around too. So when you actually like put out positive energy, positivity comes back to you. You're getting a lot of joy from lifting people up now. You may have learned from your past that saying things that may be a little bit hurtful or reacting very strongly to certain things ends up having an impact both on that other person and yourself. So now you've started to really embrace being a softer, kinder, more loving and gentle person. And I really sense that you're seeing the benefits in the way that you're feeling too, is what I'm getting, Pile 1. That you are having more love for yourself. You're in a place of like peace and harmony where, things are starting to work out for you and you're really enjoying living. You're making love to life right now, basically. And with the big picture thinking card, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Interesting that falls under the ask for help from others. I really think that you're actually also becoming a lot more open-minded. With the compromise card also, I sense that you are encouraging and thoroughly enjoying like discussing, deep concepts and changing your values or your ideals on certain themes in life. You're becoming a lot more open to different philosophies, but you're becoming a lot more open to other people's opinions. You're starting to enjoy looking at things from all different perspectives and actually working out what sits well with you. With the big picture thinking there, I just think that you're starting to like change your values in a sense that what does it say here in the cause and effect card? Creating in your thoughts is the agent of change and the foundation of your results. In terms of like changing, having a real impact on other people. You're embracing new ideas and new concepts, and it's really allowing you to grow. You're going through a period of I sense rapid growth and transformation, Pile 1. So what's unfolding for you? I just see a really a better life in the sense that you're really coming into peace with who you are, that the way that you've managed to change the way that you interact with people, change your thoughts, change your actions, being a lot more kind and soft, making like grand gestures of trying to lift people up and being a better person. It's just allowing you to be so much more at peace with yourself. And you're enjoying and embracing like other people's ideals, other people's viewpoints, in a sense, like taking things on that you feel may benefit you and changing your values based on other people's perspectives and perceptions of reality, which I think is really amazing. I really am getting like strong Aquarian vibes in this, in the sense that you're now starting to embrace being of service and lifting other people up, being very social and wanting to get out and interact with people so that you can continue to open your mind to new concepts and embrace like all different topics and themes and stuff like that, learning more and enjoying the journey of becoming a better person is what I'm getting. Moving on from that, pile one, let's get some further messages and insight for you from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Spirit, can we get some further messages, please, for pile number one, who have managed to start to realize that like their thoughts, their words, their actions actually have consequences and are making big and bold changes in their life because of it. You may have also been in a position recently, pile one, where you were forced in a sense to ask for help from others. I just got a vibe too when I first saw these cards that maybe you can be a little bit stubborn in a sense of like not wanting to take handouts from other people, that maybe your pride gets in the way sometimes. And I really just sense that maybe there's been something in your recent past where you were forced to accept and compromise your own values and accept help from other people. And I sense like that's actually softened your heart in a sense, that the help or the benefit that you've received is you're very grateful for, and you want to try and give it back now. So you're really starting to see the benefits of lifting people up and being more giving in a sense is what I'm getting, pile one. Spirit, any further messages, please? Woo, wow. For pile number one, who are starting to love themselves more and more and really finding peace within. Ooh. Any further messages, please, Spirit, for pile number one? Okay. So you have 4 cards that have come out. The first 2 that we can see is the Judgment card and the Page of Cups. So I just sense, with the Page of Cups, all about your emotions. Fresh energy too. I really think that you are starting to fall in love with yourself in a sense. You're starting to feel more at peace with yourself. Like you're having a lot more like love to give and really finding satisfaction with the person that you are now. You're embracing life a little bit more and enjoying the journey in a sense. But I also sense here with the Judgment card and the Page of Cups, which also talks about intuition. The Judgment card is all about answering a higher call, right? So you have changed your values, definitely. I see this. This has been a massive transformation in the way that you interact with people, a massive transformation in the way that you look at life. You're feeling a lot lighter and more at ease now. And I really sense that you're starting to like trust that, in a way, you were meant to go through these experiences so that you can learn to change what you believe. Like this has been a real deep transformation on your values, pile one, what you believe in. And I sense now you thoroughly enjoy spreading love and joy to other people, that you believe that you're here to actually to be of service and to lift people up, which is very Aquarian sentiments in general is what I'm getting. You also have the 6 of Wands, lovely. And you have the Empress card, okay, and they all came out upright, which is really beautiful. Embracing your more loving, nurturing, softer side, most definitely with the Empress, is what I'm getting. I just sense that it's also very strong Venus energy too. The Empress is like ruled by Venus. Strong divine feminine energy, like being more loving and compassionate to other people. That the things that you went through, I sense, if you did go through something really hard where you had to call on other people to help you through, you had to like let go of your ego in a sense and swallow your pride, accepting help from other people. But that's just only allowed you to open your eyes and see what's most important, to change your values and to realize that like helping other people out and being of service to other people is what brings you happiness too. That spreading love and joy allows more joy and love to come back to you. What goes around comes around. It's cause and effect, right? And with the Six of Wands, victory, you've managed to overcome your own demons here. You've managed to change your whole value set and start to, like, I guess, align with a greater purpose. Judgment also indicates to me that maybe you are now being a bit of a channel to the divine, that the things that you say just come into your head from nowhere. Spreading love is something that comes naturally to you. I just think you should continue to embrace the person that you're becoming, Pile 1, because I really see a lot of happiness in your future if you realize that you're here for a reason and continue to spread love. Beautiful reading. That's all I have for you, Pile 1. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, if you feel like this reading was beneficial to you and it may benefit some friends and family that are in a time of need, I'd love it if you could pass it on. That would be great. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to Pile 2. Hello, Pile 2 with a lovely tiger's eye. I love this gem, this crystal. I just love the styrations in it. Let's find out what's unfolding in your life, what's happening to you, whether it be something that you are aware of or something you're unaware of right now, by looking at your oracle cards. Your first card is the card of Virtue. You acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. That's beautiful. You have the Improving Health card. And you have the Communicate Clearly card. Okay. Interesting. We'll start with those cards, Pile 2. I love that it says there in the Virtue card, spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. And you have the Communicate Clearly card. So what I am seeing for you, Pile 2, is that you're starting to embrace who you are, that you're loving yourself. You realize that you have some gifts now and you're not afraid of it anymore. You're not ashamed of them, that you want to put them out there and to share them with the world in a sense. And I sense that maybe you're encouraging others to do the same, that the more confidence and love for yourself that you have, the more you want other people to really shine their light bright too. Like the light shining bright from the cup here, in a sense. I love also that you have the dolphins here too. There's 2 dolphins. Dolphins always indicate to me like a really playful, fun-loving energy. So I sense that you've found something recently. It may be a new passion potentially that you thoroughly enjoy doing and you just want to start sharing it with the rest of the world, or at least you started to really have a lot more confidence in yourself. With the Improving Health there, I mean, that generally talks about like improving your physical health in a sense, but I really just see it as in like you're improving your mental status in a sense, that your mental health may have been improving. Potentially you've gone through a bit of a rocky phase in terms of your mental health, feeling a bit low, but I really just sense that you're actually starting to believe in yourself with improving health, improving your mind, believing in yourself, having a lot more confidence in your abilities is what I'm seeing from these cards. And just also having the confidence to really like radiate them out and share them with other people. I just think this is really beautiful, Pile 2. And knowing full well that you shining your light bright actually encourages other people to do the same. People are really drawn to you. I sense that you're coming into a phase where you're starting to realize that people like being around you and that they maybe ask you for advice quite often, or they come to you in times of need to talk through like challenges that they're having if they're feeling really low. You are able to lift their spirits and also shine a light on what they have within them that is really special, like their positive attributes that then they can share with other people too. Like lifting people up is what I'm getting, which is similar to Pile 1 in a sense, but I just sense this is coming naturally to you, Pile 2, which is a little bit different to Pile 1. I also see here with Improving Health and the Virtue card, you acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes, that you've actually been doing a lot of work on your spiritual gifts in a sense, or really like trying to hone the skills that you are quite proud of and that you want to share with other people. if this is a group potentially that is like a fellow tarot reader or wants to start your own YouTube channel, just for example, that you've been doing a lot of work like giving private readings to people and getting feedback from them, honing your skills, working on your communicative skills, like practicing talking in front of people, practicing talking in front of the mirror, whatever it is that you realize that you have that you can share with other people. I just sense recently you've started to like take it really seriously and been dedicating a lot of time to it, which is really beautiful, I think. Interesting. Most definitely the cards are calling for you with the Communicate Clearly card to actually share your gifts, to use it to be of service, to help other people, and to, promote positivity so other people can continue to share their gifts too. Moving on from that, pile 2. You have the Forge, Don't Follow card. Lovely. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Okay, nice. And you have the Loosen Your Grip card. Coping mechanisms. Density, addictions. Let God in. Okay. Wow, so much coming through for you right now. I hope I can remember it all. Firstly, with the Loosen Your Grip card, coping mechanisms, addiction, let God in. Maybe this was a group that has been through addiction in the past, that you were in the dark for a long period, that there were things that you needed to work on and change in your life that potentially you weren't proud of, or you knew just weren't like serving your best purpose, were preventing you from being the person that you always wanted to be. And you had the courage and conviction to actually make those changes and change those habits is what I'm getting, pile 2. And I really, really commend you, because I too have been through addiction, and I know how hard it is to, just first being honest with yourself and having to accept that maybe there's things that you don't like about yourself, things that you are doing that are harmful to yourself and other people potentially. But then actually having the courage to take it on and slowly but surely change those habits and those patterns, breaking free of those addictions or those patterns that weren't serving you. This is very strong, like devil energy in a sense, where you've managed to flip the card in reverse and have broken free from those restraints that were keeping you small, that were not allowing you to move forward in a sense. When we're battling addictions, it impacts all aspects of our life. It impacts our work, our health, our mental health, our relationships with other people, the way that we interact with other people. We lie a lot to ourselves and we lie to other people because we're ashamed of the things that we're doing. But I just sense that like you've managed to overcome that. There's been things in your life that I sense you were ashamed of, and you managed to look within and find the courage to actually face them head on and slowly but surely overcome certain things in your life that weren't working for you. And that is empowering, pile 2. You need to reward yourself and continue to commend yourself for the things that you've managed to overcome and change in your life. But also, with the Loosen Your Grip card, really resonates quite well with the improving health in terms of like changing habits. Certain addictions can have a big impact on our physical health and in our mental health. So I sense that like just by actually changing or overcoming certain addictions, you've managed to improve your own health. You feel a lot better with the person that you are. Your mental health is more clear. You are communicating more clearly. You're honest with yourself and other people. You may be feeling a lot more physically healthy too, having more energy, more vitality, wanting to get out there and, tackle the world and really embrace the things that you want to do with life, which I think is really beautiful. But also when we go through addiction and we start to like overcome our own demons, when we shine a light on the shadow and accept that there's things that we need to change and actually start working on those things slowly but surely, we also start to see it unveils other skills and talents that we never thought that we could have, right? Like, in a sense, by clawing out of the darkness, we start to see things about ourselves that maybe we didn't notice were really like beautiful attributes about ourselves. Our strength, our resolve, our determination to not let these things get the best of us, the ability to claw our way out of the darkness. Also in terms of like spiritual gifts, that having been through the darkness yourself, pile 2, I just sense that With the virtue card here, you acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. That also you're being encouraged to maybe help people that are also going through similar trials and tribulations that you've been through. You have so much love and empathy for people that are currently dealing with addictions, or that maybe have some bad habits that aren't working for them. And that you encourage them to improve their life, potentially, by using your voice and sharing your gifts with other people, encouraging them to continue working on those things that aren't working out for them, or overcoming addictions is what I'm really getting at. So the things that you went through in the past, Pile 2, are beautiful in the sense that now you can draw upon those experiences to actually guide and help other people to be the leader. Leading other people out of the darkness, in a sense, and truly believing in themselves and embracing the person that they want to be. I really commend you, Pile 2. This is hasn't been an easy journey for you, but I think now you're starting to see the benefits for the things that you've been through, and really starting to believe that you can live the life that you want, and that you have a certain gift now that you can share with other people and help them, in a sense, too, which I think is amazing. It's funny, you've got the Forge Don't Follow card. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. What I'm getting from this group is strong sort of healing vibes. I would call this group a healer in the sense that you've managed to heal yourself. You've overcome your own addictions. You've overcome your own physical ailments. You've overcome your own mental health issues. You've committed to making yourself the best version of yourself. And I think now you just want to be able to help and heal other people, to be of service to other people. So this is a group that I sense would really do well in the healing modality, most definitely in terms of being a psychologist or some sort of counselor, whether it be a therapist or an addiction counselor, a financial counselor, potentially also being of service through being a nurse or being a doctor, somehow in the medical field where you're actually able to advise people about what it is they need to do in terms of making their life better, is what I'm getting. Really beautiful. Moving on from that, Pile 2, let's get some further insight for you from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Spirit, can we get some further messages, please, for pile number 2? Ooh. About what they've managed to overcome, what's unfolding in their life. I just sense that they're unfolding some hidden gifts that maybe they never knew that they had, that actually overcoming their own demons has sort of unveiled some other gifts that they have that now they want to share and get out and share to the world, in a sense. And I really just see a strong, loving, compassionate, healing group. Spirit, any further messages, please, for pile number 2, my healers. Any further messages, Spirit, please, for pile number 2. Okay, so there's 3 cards I wanted to come up for you. The first is the 5 of Cups in reverse, which really indicates to me that you've dealt with disappointment in the past. I just sense that's a confirmation that you've been through hard times, that something potentially didn't work out in your favor too. You may have lost certain things in your life that were very dear to you, things that you held on to very tightly. This could also talk about addiction too, or at least certain behaviors that used to bring you joy and satisfaction, that used to fill your cup, that used to bring you a lot of happiness potentially. So as we evolve and we grow, both spiritually and physically, in a sense, Pile 2, the older we get and the more wise we become, we start to realize that things that we used to enjoy in the past just don't bring us the same satisfaction in the sense that they used to. And sometimes letting go of those things can be quite hard. There can be resistance to it. So you may have felt this may have been a very, very challenging period for you, where you had to actually accept that certain things that you used to do just weren't giving you the same satisfaction that you used to have from them. And that alone in itself is hard to accept. But I do see that you've overcome it. With this card being in reverse, you've managed to get past this phase. You've started to see that there's still things in life that you really thoroughly enjoy, and maybe you found some other things in life that you enjoy more, like being of service and offering your gifts to other people with the Communicate Clearly card, indicating strongly that maybe using your voice is how you're supposed to share your love and compassion with other people and encourage other people to grow. You have the Queen of Cups in the upright position, and you have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. No, most definitely you're in a place where you've found love within. You know who you are now, pile 2. You know how strong you are. You know what you can overcome. You've got a lot of love for yourself because you've managed to work through your own demons. You're in a place of harmony where I also sense that it kind of also reminds me of the Temperance card, which is all about moderation, where I think maybe you've realized that if you want to be able to continue doing certain things, that maybe you need to like regulate how much and when you can do them. You're just in a place where I think you're enjoying life and loving life now, and you have a lot of compassion and love for other people. The Queen of Cups is very empathic, right? Knows when other people are feeling a bit low or down, and is quite willing to share her love and compassion to help lift them up and raise them up. I just really get strong sort of empathic healing vibes from this group. So what's unfolding for you are certain gifts and skills that I think maybe you weren't aware that you had, pile 2. And what I also am seeing too with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, that this is something that potentially you could make a career out of, that if you actually start to use these gifts in a career sense, that you can maybe start to make money. It kind of reminds me of having the potential to start like reaping the rewards for the work that you've done. So all of this wasn't in vain. I think maybe now you realize how powerful you are. And I really sense that what's unfolding for you in the future is a more peaceful, pleasant life where you're more accepting of the person that you are, that you've accepted the demons of your past and managed to overcome them. But now you're using that insight, those experiences, to share your love and empathy with other people and actually maybe creating a career out of it. This is something that can bring you financial stability is what I'm getting. Amazing reading for you, pile 2. That's all I have for you. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you found that this reading was really beneficial and you think maybe it would benefit some other people that you know that are going through some hard times, I'd love it if you could pass it on with them. That would be great. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to pile 3. Hello, pile 3 with a lovely light blue angelite stone. Beautiful. Let's find out what's unfolding in your life right now, what maybe you are aware of or you're not aware of. Some unexpected news, potentially, or unexpected events coming your way. We'll start with your oracle cards, and then we'll move on to the Rider-Waite Tarot to get some clarity. Your first card. Oh, you have the card of self-love. Lovely. You realize that love of self is necessary to love another. That's beautiful. You have the Ask Your Angels card. And you have the It's Up to You card. We'll start with those 3 cards. Interesting. So what I'm getting for you from these cards, pile 3, I sense you're coming into a place where you're unveiling some inner truths. Maybe you're having epiphanies or realizations recently. Just getting more clarity about who you are, what it is that you want from life. Probably getting, I guess, a deeper understanding about why certain events transpired the way they did in your past, or why recent things have maybe fallen away or unfolded the way they did. I think maybe you're strengthening your connection to the divine is what I'm getting with the Ask Your Angels here and the self-love. I sense that maybe you're starting to come into alignment a little bit more. And when I say coming into alignment, what does that mean? Does it mean like all of your chakras are aligning in a way? In a sense, yes, but I guess in a real practical sense, it just means that you're starting to do the things that are actually beneficial to you in your life. And maybe you've been releasing and working through, I guess, things that weren't serving you or working for you potentially, whether that be like some behaviors or patterns or thought patterns that you may have had, potentially even some addictions or some bad habits maybe that just were holding you back a little bit. I sense that you've actually been going through a phase quite actively recently where you've been working on yourself. So all of that work, pile 3, has basically been strengthening your connection to, I guess, the ethereal realms or something bigger than yourself. So you may have started to have a lot more downloads or understandings of, like, I guess, what your purpose is and why you're here. I also sense that you're starting to feel more at peace with yourself the more work that you do on yourself, the more self-love you give, in a sense. The more, like, happy and at peace you are with yourself, and it really reflects outwardly in your external world. Things start to, like, just fall into place and start aligning also. I think the more work we do on ourselves, I guess the easier our life becomes, in a sense, because really happiness stems from, like, overcoming challenges. I think basically what you've been doing recently, pile 3, is probably a lot of, like, shadow work, where you've been facing those things about yourself that maybe in the past you were too afraid to look at, or that you didn't want to accept about yourself, or even were just in complete denial about, really. And really started to, like, accept that those things are part of who you are, and embracing yourself completely with the self-love card there. But also I sense that you've been working on yourself and making changes to those things that weren't working for you. So let's say, for example, you had a habit of being very reactive to people when they say something that you perceive to be critical or offensive. You may be very hot-headed or have a very strong temper, and so you react very strongly with some anger or aggression. I sense that, for example, maybe in the past you started to realize that that's something that you do, and making changes to make sure that you try and take a deep breath before you react to something, or take a step back and start to think about, what a more peaceful or amicable way to react to a certain situation is. That's just an example that came to mind. So I think all of this inner work, basically starting to change aspects of yourself and having realizations about who you are and what it is that you want from life, is actually strengthening your connection to the divine, in a sense. So what's unfolding for you, pile 3? I'm also seeing here that you've got the confidence now to go after whatever it is that you want from life, that you're, in a sense, starting to put yourself first, your own needs first, believing that, you can do whatever it is that you want to do, and really having the confidence and the willpower, the desire to push forward on the things that actually you want to achieve in life now. You're not allowing other people to sort of influence your perception on things, and really trusting in your own instincts, trusting in your own abilities is what I'm getting to. So I am also seeing with the Ask Your Angels that I sense that you've been starting to get a lot more signs and synchronicities in your reality, leading you on your path. Things that you may have sort of considered to be a coincidence in the past, now you're starting to see them more frequently, and I think you're starting to accept that, you are being guided, that you are connected to something higher. And your guides are really encouraging you to, like, follow your own dreams, to keep working on yourself and to push forward, is what I'm getting with the It's Up to You card. If there's something that you specifically want to manifest or change in your life, your guides are basically saying you have the strength and the willpower, the know-how and the clarity even, to actually make it happen. Keep working, keep pushing, is what I'm getting. With the self-love card and it's up to you card, there's a strong emphasis. Look at the angel there just pointing directly at you, the person that is watching this video right now. There's a need for you to put your own needs first, to look after yourself, to prioritize the things that are important to you before, I guess you can really start, like, either helping other people or I just sense that your guides are basically really indicating to you, pile 3, that whatever it is that you want is something that you can achieve. Moving on, you have the You're Not Alone card, isolation, physical connection, community. Interesting. And you also have the Jump In card, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. Okay, wow. So what I see from those cards, with the jump in card, it says say yes to change. I am also suspecting that maybe things have been falling apart around you, that you've been going through a lot of changes, not only internally in the sense that you've been doing a lot of work on yourself and starting to unveil aspects of who you are, getting more clarity about your purpose, your values in a sense about what's important to you, where you want to go with your life. But I also am just sensing that maybe there's been some changes in your external world. So you may have been going through, I guess, a bit of a process where you're letting go of things that aren't working for you, or even things that you were hoping for that used to work for you are falling apart. So potentially this is a group that may have lost their job during isolation. During isolation, you may have lost your job. You may have potentially had some issues with a partner or a loved one. With the jumping card falling under It's Up to You and the self-love card, these three cards are really indicating to me that you have the power to change the things that aren't working for you. Or if there are some problems in your life, you have some battles or some trialing issues right now, whether it be financially, in a relationship, whatever that is for you, pile 3, that you are being encouraged right now to make those changes. I think you already know what it is that you need to do to make sure that things work out for the best, or to at least sort of change patterns or behaviors that aren't working for you. But most definitely too, with the Ask Your Angels card and the You're Not Alone card, these two cards are really indicating to me that you have more than one spirit guide around you. You have support from a lot of either angels or guides is what I'm getting. And I really sense it's because you've been going through a period where things are just changing in your reality, and you're changing too, pile 3, in a big way is what I'm getting. I also am seeing here that if maybe you are feeling a bit stuck, or you're confused about what's going on, you're not sure what it is that you need to do, with the You're Not Alone card and the Ask Your Angels card, you can ask your angels about what the next step is. You can ask your angels for support. You can ask your angels for protection, to give you clarity of mind about, what it is that's transpiring in your life. And I sense what the right path is for you if you need to know that. But there's most definitely a need for you right now with the self-love card there. I suspect also with the jump in card to do things that lift your spirits a little bit too. And the reason why I'm saying that, pile 3, is I sense that you have been going through a bit of a rocky patch where things just haven't been working out the way you were hoping for, is what I'm really getting. So maybe right now is the time to just actually try and switch your mind off, or to move away from any sort of negativity in the sense, by doing things that bring you joy and lift your spirits in a sense. Maybe spending time with friends and family with the You're Not Alone card, reconnecting with some loved ones that you maybe have not seen recently. Even just giving them a call on the phone and having a chat. That could be the thing that just sort of eases your mind a little bit and lifts your spirits up. I am also sensing doing things that are actually really positive for you in a sense, like exercising more, or getting out to nature and going for a walk is something that will benefit your body and give you more endorphins to feel a little bit better about yourself. But also I find when you go for a walk in nature, or you do some exercise, or you do something that's quite repetitive in a sense, it allows you to focus intently on one thing, and that's when epiphanies come in. That's when realizations happen. So I sense also it's probably a good period for you to do something that focuses your mind just on one thing, whether that be meditation or walking or reading a book or something like that even, is what I'm getting for you, pile 3. But what's unfolding for you? Good question. I see that you're being really asked right now to embrace the changes that are coming to you in your life right now, the things that are happening. If you are resisting them, or you're being fighting against them, it's very uncomfortable. I think in a way you're being asked to sort of just relax into them, to not fight against the current in a way. That these changes are unfolding for your greater good. But let's find out. Let's get some further clarity about what these changes are with the Standard Rider-Waite Tarot deck. But can we get some further clarity, please, for pile number 3 about what's unfolding, what's happening with all these changes? I really sense that, in a sense, they're coming into alignment in a way. Oh, wow. They're starting to have a little bit more peace within after they've made a lot of changes in their life, and actively working on themselves is what I'm getting. Interesting. Spirit, any further messages, please, for pile number 3 about what's changing, what's unfolding in their life? Any further messages, Spirit, please, for pile number 3? Okay, so you have 3 cards that have come out. Your first card is the 2 of Cups in the upright position. And then you have the 3 of Cups in reverse, which I find is really fascinating. Your final card is the Tower in reverse. Okay, there you go. Interesting. Resistance to change a little bit. I do sense that you've been doing a bit of work on yourself too, pile 3. But I guess it gets exhausting after a while, doesn't it? Like, I sense that you're wondering when, you know, things are going to stop happening that in a sense maybe you have no control over. So what I'm seeing is basically you are trying to control the things that you can control. And I really commend you on that, pile 3. That you've been doing a lot of soul searching in a way, and you've changed a lot of bad habits is what I'm getting. And I sense that you're starting to, you know, find a little bit more peace within and love yourself a little bit more. But I do see that with the Tower in reverse that maybe there's some things that you have been resisting, or at least you're uncertain about. You're still wondering why things aren't working out for you, potentially. You know what I'm getting with the Tower in reverse card and the 3 of Cups in reverse? I sense that you've been going through a bit of a period where you've started to lose friends, or you're starting to realize that some people just aren't right for you anymore, that you don't really have much in common with them anymore. And these may be people that you've had in your life for a very long time, that you actually love quite dearly. But as we change and we get older, as we become more in alignment with our true purpose and who we are and what we're here for, in a sense, I guess like people that we may have had a lot in common with in the past sometimes we just don't gel with them anymore because they don't align with our soul purpose. They don't align with the person that we're becoming, in a sense. And that can be quite hurtful is what I'm getting for you, pile 3. Accepting that maybe, you know, that those people aren't within your best interests anymore, or accepting that maybe it's time to sort of distance yourself from people that you were really quite close to. And I do see that maybe if you don't make this on your own, if this isn't a decision that you fully embrace, in a sense, that really over time the distance will become greater and greater, and those people will sort of, in a sense, naturally exit your life. Like, it will happen organically over time. So you can either embrace it and, like, not to say cut them off at all. If there's someone that you love quite dearly, of course, you can still be in contact. But I think it's about really just accepting that, you know, maybe some people you don't see eye to eye with. And as your values change and you become the person that you want to be and the person that I sense you're here for, and as you slowly start to accept that your values change and you become the person that you want to be, that is the person that has the skills to do the things that you want from your life, that completes your soul purpose, in a sense. Over time, these relationships just start to fall apart, fall away. But what I'm also seeing for you, pile 3, with the 2 of Cups in the upright position, also falling over the You're Not Alone card, that there are people out there that are your soul family that you are supposed to meet. I sense that by doing this inner work and allowing these things to sort of fall apart in your life, to, you know, get rid of the things that aren't working for you, if you just embrace the changes that are coming, you're going to naturally start to meet people that have more in common with you, that are your soul family, that support your values, that have, I guess, the same outlook on life and want the same things. It may actually be a new relationship, potentially, if you're single right now, meeting that person that is, I guess, your divine counterpart, that helps you on your journey to be able to fulfill the things that you want from life, in a sense. But I really just see you actually meeting people that, you know, resonate with your same ideals, that want the same things in life. So not all is lost for you, pile 3, at all. Things are starting to come into alignment, I sense. It's just been a bit of a rocky patch where you've had to cull away those things that weren't serving your higher purpose and serving your future, is what I'm getting. That's all I have for you, pile 3. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, if you got some benefit out of this reading and you think it may be beneficial to some friends and family that maybe you're also going through a bit of a rocky patch right now, I'd really love it if you could share it on with them. That would be great. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to pile 4. Hello, pile 4, with the lovely rose quartz cube. Let's find out what's currently unfolding, what you may or may not know, what events are happening to you with your oracle cards. Your first card is present. You live in the moment and are able to bring forth the energy of love in your current circumstances. Beautiful. You have the listen to your intuition card. And you have the situation will improve card. Okay, we'll start with those cards, pile 4. This isn't surprising, pile 4, but most of the piles have had a similar theme about working through challenges. And, well, I guess the collective is going through a really challenging year with the pandemic and things happening around the world in politics and civil rights movements and stuff like that. You know, paradigms are breaking down that aren't working for us, and it kind of also affects us on an individual level too. And I sense that maybe you've had some issues that you've been battling through on your own too, is what I'm getting. I'm not entirely sure what it could be with these cards, but with the situation improves card, it really does indicate to me that, you know, the recent past has been quite hard for you, that you've had some things that you've been working through, either internally in terms of your mental health and the way that you feel, but possibly also in your external world too. Maybe you've been isolated and trapped away, like locked away from friends and family, and it's starting to weigh on your mind. Maybe you've lost a job recently through the pandemic. You may have had some personal issues in a relationship, or even some health issues potentially. And I just sense that there's probably been more than one thing that's been weighing on your mind. It's been a really tough recent past is what I'm getting for you, pile 4. But what I do see, what's unfolding for you, I think, is clarity and peace of mind, in the sense that I think that you're being called here to really like take one day at a time, one step at a time, to overcome your own battles. With the present card, you live in the moment and are able to bring forth the energy of love to your current circumstances. This card really indicates to me that it's all about like being in the moment and understanding whatever it is that you can do right now that will make your life better, or at least take you one step closer to changing the things that are ailing you or that aren't working out for you right now. Like being very mindful in this present moment about, I guess, what the situation is and how that you can improve it. Doing the things right now that actually have, I guess, a net benefit in terms of easing your life a little bit, really. And I also see here with the listen to your intuition card, along with the present card, this really indicates to me that you already know what it is that you can do. I sense that you're quite aware of the problems that are afflicting you right now, that they're so real and so obvious that, you know, you already know what it is that's not working out for you. But I also sense that you know what it is that you can do too, that will actually help change or lighten the load a little bit, whether that be like maybe asking for help from friends and family, or getting professional help potentially if you're in a bad place, or at least taking practical steps to changing things that aren't working right now. So you should really trust in yourself and trust that A, you already know what it is that you need to change and how to change it, but B, I think the cards are also indicating that if you make these practical steps, that if you, the person watching this video, actually starts doing things that ease your mind a little bit and actually lead you towards like rectifying certain things that aren't working, then you'll start to realize how strong you are and what you're able to overcome. It's always nice to be able to reflect back on situations and realize that, you know, we managed to get through it, not necessarily on our own, but, you know, that we did the things that we needed to do that got us through trying times. And asking for help is just another one of those things, like not being too proud to accept that, you know, maybe accepting help from other people is something that you need to do. So I think you already know what it is that you need to do, pile 4. It's just about really getting onto it and believing that you have the ability to do it. Moving on, You have the Star Family card. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. Okay. Interesting. What I'm taking from that card, in a very practical sense, as I was mentioning, that maybe if you are like struggling right now, that you can call people that you know, friends and family, that will, I think, be here right now when you need them to be able to give you a lending hand. Sometimes even just like talking to a friend or family on the phone. Like when I'm feeling really down, I tend to call my mum, and she manages to make me feel a little bit better. So it doesn't necessarily even have to be about getting support or advice from them, but sometimes just being able to talk to someone that we love just lifts our spirits and gives us the confidence we need to, I guess, to be able to assess situations more clearly and really work out what it is we can do right now that will make our life a little bit easier. And you also have the Wait card. It's not time yet. Things are being woven. Interesting. Okay. So that's falling under the situation will improve. That just indicates to me that maybe there's still a little bit of time where you'll have to go through a bit of a rough patch, and that's not surprising. Pile 4, if there are more than one thing that you're dealing with right now that's not working out for you, or if you're even just feeling really low, you may have some mental health issues, or you're just struggling with, sorting out more than one thing in your life. I just sense that, like, it takes time, basically. Things are being woven. It takes time to get things right. It takes time to rectify issues. We can't just snap our fingers and have our life be magic and roses and peaches and cream. Like, we need to work through our problems day in, day out, and one by one. So basically that card is really indicating to me that, like, if you start now and start working on things, that in time, after a bit of time having to wait, you will start to see the rewards for it, that things will start to improve for you. I am also seeing here with the Star Family card, you're part of a team of souls, call in support. That what I'm getting from that card pile 4 is that maybe with the listen to your intuition card too, that if you ask your spirit guides and angels about maybe what you can do to improve the situation, ask for clarity about what you're going through potentially, if you're feeling a little confused or just wondering why nothing seems to be working out for you in your favor, that your guides will also be here to support you and give you the answers that you seek, that your guides can help protect you and lift you up and make you feel better if you need just a bit of reprieve so that you can, I guess, just take a break from feeling really low, really. I sense that there's a calling for you right now to trust in the intuition and the messages that you are receiving from your spirit guides or your angels. Moving on from that pile 4, let's get some further clarity for you about what's unfolding for you. So, in terms of maybe why you've been going through this pile 4, I just sense it like the collective right now on an individual sort of basis too. We're all having to like face things that really aren't, I guess, within our best interest for the future, to be the people that we want to be in the future, or to be more aligned with, I guess, the reason why we're here, our sole purpose, what's coming in our future. We need to, like, I guess, start to accept parts of ourselves that maybe we were afraid to look at in the past, start to shine a light on those things that we need to change, and start to accept that some things just aren't meant for us in the future, in a sense. So why are you going through this? Because it's really like taking you to a place where I think you'll have more confidence in yourself to do the things that you want in your future. It's giving you the strength to actually be able to change aspects of yourself that maybe you felt you needed to let go of, in a sense. And I really sense it's leading to you to actually being more at peace with yourself and feeling a lot lighter, like letting go of certain burdens or even certain like patterns or behaviors that, are just causing you a lot of pain and trouble. Any further messages, please, Spirit, from the pile 4? Ooh, okay, wow, okay. This card started flying out of the deck. Interesting. Okay, the first card that sticks out to me is the Tower card. But that came out for pile 3, but it was in reverse for pile 3. It's in the upright position for you. So I just really sense that you have been going through a period where things just weren't working out for you, where you may have had some really drastic or chaotic changes in your life recently. So maybe you've only just recently lost a job. You may have had like issues in a relationship, or like lost a partner or something like that. You may have even had some health issues, but there's been some really dramatic and drastic changes in your life recently. But it's all for the greater good. So the cards that I can see here too, you have the Emperor in the upright position. You have the Hierophant in reverse. You have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And you also have the King of Swords. Beautiful. Okay. So what I am seeing from those cards, firstly with the King of Swords, really indicates to me, well, strong intellect to start with. I think you already know. You're very intellectual. You can see what it is that needs to change, I sense. And I do see that you're not resisting change too, that you're allowing things to fall apart or fall away from you right now, pile 4. But the King of Swords to me also, along with the listen to your intuition card, really indicates like strong connection to spirit, that you're getting downloads of information about what you need to do, or I guess even maybe getting clarity about your purpose while you're here, what it is that you want from life, where you're headed in a sense. So the things that have been falling apart around you are for your greatest good, because they are no longer like serving you in the future. They're not supposed to be with you anymore. You're supposed to release them so that you can be like the best version of yourself. And with the Emperor here, of authority, of taking control, like action, you know, I sense that you've already started to make changes, that you're embracing these changes in a sense. You're facing them head on. Like, I really sense that, like, this is actually doing the work that you're working through right now, like accepting that there are things that you need to change and actually like facing those things like head on. I sense that you're starting to feel more empowered, right? Like overcoming battles just allows us to realize how strong we are and what we have to offer other people and ourselves. So you're really starting to like believe in yourself more and more with the changes that you were making. But with the Three of Pentacles in reverse here and the Hierophant in reverse, this really indicates to me that maybe you could do from getting assistance from other people, that potentially you've been a little bit stubborn in terms of actually accepting help from other people or asking for help. Remembering that the Three of Pentacles here is actually falling on the card of star family, call in support, like that maybe right now you could do with getting some advice from other people about how they managed to change their lives, or if they've gone through similar things and what they managed to do to really start getting on top of things one by one. And the Hierophant here is all about like really starting to learn to be more structured and disciplined in our approach to actually changing these things. Interesting, I was talking about the King of Swords here. The Hierophant too really indicates like a connection to spirit, being in contact with something bigger. But in reverse, this can also suggest that maybe right now in the past, potentially you haven't been following some of that advice. I really do sense that you already know what it is that you need to do, pile 4, to make your life better and to ease your mind, to get on top of the things that aren't working out for you. But it's just about really trusting that you have the ability to do so, and really sort of getting quite sort of disciplined in your approach day in, day out, to, I guess, making it a routine, something that becomes like second nature for you. So I sense you're on the way already, pile 4. Like you've done the work, you're starting to make changes. Really the message here for you is that these things are unfolding for your greater good, because I really see that in the future you're going to just have so much more confidence in your own abilities. And I really think that these things fall away so that we can allow more things to come in that are within our better interest and, you know, align with us in a sense even more. So one door closes and another door opens is what I'm getting. Just keep working on yourself, pile 4. You have the power to get through this, and in time, the situation will get better and better if you continue to believe that you have the power to change your life. That's all I have for you, pile 4. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, if you found that this was a beneficial reading to you, and you feel like somebody else could get benefits from this, I'd love it if you could share it on. That would be great. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.